Harry, thank you so much for your time. Congratulations on the Radleys. Such a fun movie and a weird way to say that. Um, let's start off. Tell us a little bit about the film. Let's start there.
So, oh, well, it's Zoom. It's Zoom speaking at the same time. The Radleys is it's a dark comedy horror with a romance story at its heart. It follows the idea of what would you do if you had a family of vampires living next door in your it's the Middle England suburbia, and how the family find themselves, how they deal with their hidden desires and the revelation that they might not quite be human.
Yeah, you really might not know who lives next door, right? And also, you guys might not even know who you guys really are at your core with your characters, Clara and Rowan. Tell us a little bit about your characters and how you got to play them. I can't imagine how much fun it'd be to play a vampire. We could both start with you.
Yeah, vampires, just playing a vampire, a dream come true. So cool, such a good experience. Clara is a 17-year-old schoolgirl who is, yeah, just trying to find herself in the world, trying to figure out where she fits in. Um, and then, yeah, something awful happens, but then finally she gains her self-confidence and becomes a very strong, independent woman.
Yes, Harry, tell us a little bit about Rowan.
So Rowan is he Eros in rehearsals described him as a character who has the soul of an artist. He's very much inward. He loves to spend his time in his basement room with his cameras and his developing equipment. He'd much rather take pictures of boys he has crushes on than actually talk to them. And through the film we see Rowan deal with love, with passion, with fear, and most importantly with fear of himself when he realizes what he is.
With kind of the complexity of your characters and what they're going through, because they already have lives, and then this is kind of dropped on them. Where do you both feel that you relate to your characters the most?
Well, I guess in terms of relating to the character, I feel like anyone watching just either one of our characters or any of the characters in the film, I think for me, the relatability of, I guess, just growing up, discovering who you are, and just because it's difficult to grow up, especially when you don't really know what's going on, what you should be doing, who you should be when society is telling you that you should fit into a box, so you're suppressing yourself. So I mean, I know that when I was growing up, I put pressure on myself to fit in and change different parts of myself. But then, you come out of it and realize that you should just be yourself through and through. Um, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, very, very wise. I mean, it's a similar thing for me. I think I when we filmed, I was 17 and Rowan is 16. So I was quite close to him in terms of what he was going through. Things like being in those GCSE years at school. Everyone feels like they're older. They want to be older than they are, but at the same time, they're still we're still 16, 17. We've still got so much to learn about the world. And I think in terms of what I related to about Rowan, I think his it is that same thing like Bo was saying, his want to fit in and his sort of need to be loved really. And I think he obviously he's coming to terms with his own sexuality and his desires, and I think watching him blossom in the film was a joy to be able to portray. But yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
He's such a toll.
yeah, such wonderful moments, really, in kind of like a dark horror comedy that come out of it. So I think that it was really well balanced. Tell me about a little bit on kind of building chemistry with your family, with Damian Lewis, with Kelly Macdonald, because I thought they were funny a lot, very very funny with the way they were portrayed in the film, but also all that the family dynamic that you guys have.
I mean, it was yeah, just such good fun, such good fun. I think Kelly, like her comedic timing is just it blew my mind. It was crazy. I mean, it's just like that scene. I think they just released a clip, the scene where they find Bo in the woods. Sorry, it's my cat. Where they find Bo in the woods, and and they just, yeah, I mean, that whole conversation was just, I think that really sums up what it felt like to be part of that on-screen family, is that it was, you never quite knew what to expect in the best way. Everyone was so hilariously funny, kind, and willing to sort of part wisdom, and yeah, just, I mean, we had the best time on set, we really did.
It was such a good time, like such an amazing time. We filmed it in a month, so it was quite short, but in that time, I don't know about you, Harry, but just like in terms of, yeah, the friendships that you make on set, I think definitely, like with you and I, we've stayed in contact. But also just I like from the moment that I met Harry, it was in a hotel. We both were alone, sitting at different tables eating, and I was like, I'm pretty sure he's playing my brother. And then
Yeah.
I was like, hey, so I was like, excuse me, and then he was like, hi, oh my God. And then we sat together, we got talking, and it was just flowed very, very easily. And then Damian and Kelly, they are so nice, so lucky to be able to work with actors that you've looked up to, and then they live up to your expectations. Because people say don't meet your heroes, but with them, meet them because they are great,
Yeah,
lovely.
really are,
Yeah.
really, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Friends for life.
That's
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
That's great to hear. Bo, I gotta ask you, how do you feel about, well, both of you, but Bo specifically, because you brought up that scene. How do you feel about fake blood and and being
I love it.
covered?
I love it. It was great. I don't know. There's something about being covered in so much blood. I don't. It's a very interesting feeling. Um, but yeah, it was very sticky. It was like many showers trying to get it out of my hair. It tasted a bit strange, but the aesthetic, I think it looked great. It looked really fun. And also just the teeth. You can't go wrong with a big set of vampire fangs. It adds a level of swag to your walk. That's what I found.
No, really, it does. I'll be honest with you. I was at Spirit just this weekend, and there was this entire set of teeth. I'm not even trying to be a vampire this Halloween season, but I was like, I had them in my hands, and even my daughter was like, "You're buying vampire teeth?" I was like, yeah, I think so. It would be pretty cool. And then I ended up putting them down because I
Oh,
wasn't sure about the quality. So,
okay, fair. They need to
but
be good.
more than likely, I'll be picking them up, and it'll be fun. Thank you both for spending a few minutes with me. I really appreciate it. Movie's a lot of fun. Your characters are great, of course, and cannot wait to talk to you guys on the next one.
Fabulous. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time.
Yeah,
Meeting you.
nice to meet you both.